Let's talk now about fire signs. Fire signs. Fire signs, anytime we're talking about fire signs, we're dealing with Aries as leaders, we're dealing with Leos as fixed, and we're dealing with Sagittarius. Completely different, where Aries, you'll see Aries are more aggressive, they're courageous, competitive, confident. Leos are more dramatic, affectionate, creative, where Sagittarius, they're more fire but free, idealistic, philosophical. They're both fire, but you could see the energy is completely different. One is competition, another one is more, I want to be free. I want to use the fire to fuel my imaginations and to fuel. So you can see, just because it's fire doesn't mean that is the element, but all of them have the aspects of fire, etc. So what does it mean? What is the concept of a fire sign? Again, you can, to all of us, to look at your Scorpio, just look at your dates, your birthday, look at the date exactly where you're born, and you can see where you would fit on that. So what does it mean to be a fire sign? What does fire represent? Fire represents the concept of having fear, not having fear. You could see most fire signs, they make decisions, but then afterwards they pay the price. They don't have that problem of, I don't know what to do. They pull the trigger. Sometimes they're way too confident, where they should be more, they should plan things out. So anytime you're dealing with fire, they don't have fear. They don't have so many issues with fear. So they need a lot of humility. They need to process things versus just fire away. And anytime we fire away, we can fall in love. One thing is to stand in love. We know, we said this many times, that the hottest loves have the coldest ends. So even in a relationship, wow, I'm in love. No, you're infatuated. Too much fire. And this is where you'll see fire signs that keep on making the same mistakes over and over again, but they don't learn from it. Where water signs, they'll learn from it a little bit more. Fire signs, they just impulsiveness. The nature of impulsiveness. Too much, they're looking for too much of that fire energy that has to be channeled. So what does it mean, again, to be a fire sign? Again, they're action-oriented, they're passionate, high energy, impulsive, competitive, temperamental, motivating, great leaders. But again, they can burn out, they can be destructive, very angry. They have that anger, too much fire, it has to be channeled. Reb Nachman was a fire sign. So was Paro. So you could use that fire with spirituality to fire up that Aries energy, or the opposite. You could use it for the opposite, like Paro, for egotistical. It's funny how Aries itself represents the month of Nisan. Anytime we speak about the month of Nisan, we're speaking about new energy. So Aries, we're talking always about new energy, new start. Let's go, let's move. That's Aries. They're very competitive. They want to get going. It's like that New Year's resolution mindset. That's the energy, the courage. Because imagine, what month did we get out of Egypt? Nisan, let's get out of Egypt, let's go. That's that energy that we use for the positive with Aries. We use that, let's go, let's get going. We have courage, let's move on. And this is where Aries is, I am, that mindset of I am this, I am going to win. It's a confidence. And this is why it's the head, and Aries also represents the most headaches, because sometimes they don't know how to do it. I've had many Aries employees, the best employees, but as far as getting productivity done, but their relationships with others, disaster, because it's all about them. They need more of a Libra. What's the complete south node? If a south node is Aries, what is the north node? Libra. Be more thought out. Be more process things. It's about the team winning, not just about you winning. So they need a little Libra energy, Aries, and not just make everything about them. We know Paro himself was an Aries. Paro himself is the concept of Paro was the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Reb Nachman, Aries. You could see Chabad and Breslov are led by Aries. That potential of renewal it can be great, But the positive could be paro. This is why it's funny on the month of Nisan. What do we eat? We eat matzah because we need to humble ourselves. Matzah is the opposite. Matzah is humility. Is the opposite of what Aries needs. Aries needs that humility. So they have a lot of excessive self-importance. They have a lot of false pride, like paro. The tikkun is to eat matzah and humble up, because what's the ego do? The ego is chametz. Chametz is, it rises. So they have the Aries, they rise to the head. Everything rises to the head. Humble up. Think of the matzah. For example, Yehuda takes action. Yehuda comes from this concept. There's a personality connected to each tribe is Yehuda. Who came out of Yehuda? Nachshon. Nachshon went straight and split the sea. So it gives us all of this brazenness. The right leg also, Kabbalistic. Sefer Yisirah says, Aries represents the right leg. Let's go. So they love attention. If you look at an Aries, they thrive for attention. They thrive for victory. Attention is number one from them. The competitive month, the month that rules them, is the same one as Scorpio, which is Mars. So they're all very, very competitive. So you could see that always in a war, always in a competition. But they sometimes they're too impulsive, and that brings them to tension and danger. One thing about an air sign, a fire sign, when they get into an argument, you scream, all of a sudden they'll forget about it. 10 minutes later, it's like nothing happened. Not a Scorpio. Scorpio will remember and seek revenge. Cancers will not talk to you for years. Where if fire, they let it go. We're best friends in 2 minutes. So you could see also the positives, they let things go also, but they love it's not that they love the argument. They love the passion. They love that drama. They love that. So sometimes again, too much drama. The strength is fire, impulse. They're bold, they're exciting, they're confident, they're generous, they're independent, they're courage, impressive, decisive. They make decisions. Now, is it the right decision? Is a different story. But they do pull the gun, and they pull, where you'll see a Libra all day long. Should I do it? Should I not do it? So you could see Libra, the South Node is Libra. South Node is the weakness, is the opposite of the Aries. So an opposite of Aries would be a Libra. So they're the complete opposite. So Aries need a little Libra energy, the positive Libra energy, which is process things out. It's not about you, it's about the team. Because otherwise they make mistakes over and over again. They're very one-sided, they're very pushy, impulsive, right? You can't predict them. And sometimes because they get too excited, because they're a cardinal sign, they are the leaders, sometimes they don't finish the task. So this is where you need a fixed sign to finish the task. And you'll see, for example, that's the area that they're weak in. So again, their style of work, they're very prone to danger. They put themselves in very dangerous situations. They can make money, but saving it is a different story. They're not like a Taurus. They're not this impulsiveness. They have to work on their impulsiveness and this energy. Use it to get you going, but you can't be too much of it can't be all about you. It has to be about the team winning. I wouldn't be surprised if a guy's scoring 40 points and the team loses. Typical situation with Aries. All about themselves. It's about the team winning. So the strengths are ambitious, they're trailblazers in money, very dynamic, very hardworking also. But the weaknesses, they're not team players. So in marriage, sometimes they're brutal with their criticism, with their comments. They're not about they don't like what you're doing. You're not doing a good job. You can't talk to your mate that way. You can't speak to them. You can't be so brutal. You have to be more. You need a little more finesse. You need a little more emotions. It cannot just be what you say, even though they don't mean it. But they do criticize tremendously if everybody's not on their team. But they are generous. They are in that way confident. But again, if it's not used properly, and if it's self-centered, it's all about you being pleasing and you getting that honor, the Aries personality could be very destructive. They will be successful, but by themselves, not with the team. Not with the team. Where Libra is all about the team. We're all about the team. So what do they need to work on? They need to be more we than me. That's the biggest thing. More we than me. They need to be more humble. Use the gifts that your creator gave you for positive. Don't use it for, to boost your ego. Be more focused on the team itself. Have more increased self-awareness. Like I said, a guy could score 40 points and the team's not winning because he's not passing the ball. You need to recognize that the team needs to win. There's more self-awareness, and think about, instead of creating a I win, you lose situation, they need to create a win-win situation. They need to share and they need to give without wanting. It's funny how my South Node, and this is also, our sages teaches that Kabbalistically, you have this concept where each month has a polar opposite. So just like Aries, think about Nisan. What is the opposite of Nisan? There's what other new year? Tishrei. Tishrei is Libra. So I myself, my South Node is in Aries. And my North Node is in Libra. So my tikkun, what I need to fix is become more Libra. So where I had to work on is a lot of relationships, because I have a lot of Aries energy in my past. That's another class altogether, North Nodes and South Nodes. But we all have things to fix. But just you could see where in my life I have had so much of this Aries mentality where I failed, where I had to really change everything about me and be more into a Libra. Okay, with my wife, with anybody, it's all about us winning, not just me winning, and I do what I want. We all have to win. So I had to leave a lot of this Aries energy. This is why I worked on it so much, etc. More awareness, and basically the model says, I am successful when we all win, not when I win.